Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Well, this is a mad one, right?
Yes.
Very mad. Obviously, we were away yesterday, and we didn't get a chance to make this video earlier. Obviously, when we dropped like the Anderson .Paak collaboration,
Literally
everyone
hours later
was telling us, right? And they were like, holy fuck, this hits even harder now. I would encourage people to go and subscribe to the Feature Friday clips, because there are, I think, still reviews being posted there from like the live stream for BTS, specifically given the fact that we did listen to so many of them on the live stream. Also, tune in tomorrow on the live stream. Is my birthday.
Yay! Efra's birthday live stream. Efra's birthday live stream.
Yeah, so come join and celebrate. We can talk about this stuff. This is obviously quite a bizarre video. We don't know what type of fuck of emotions to.
Again, I don't know if I guess
it's not bad, obviously.
Of course
it
not.
just is what it is, because they were, probably producing some of the best music they have been producing as a band.
It just
in terms
feels
of
bizarre.
Worldwide attention. Vale has seen this.
Yes.
Probably raw clip of Waleska. She didn't know I was recording.
No, sneaky.
Yeah. So I just thought it was nice so you guys saw that, she had seen it. She'd seen it earlier today in the morning. And we thought, I haven't seen it. I've just heard it.
He's trying to keep it light now. Things are making sense because we already know what type of vibe they were on.
Because everyone spoiled it for us.
Yeah.
And sort of, I have seen it because it was on the big screen as well, but I was just getting ready and stuff. But we thought we'd check out some of you guys. I know some of you guys, maybe they also like K-pop and stuff like that. Maybe have not had the full hour to check out this stuff. Also wanted to hear our opinions. So we found these kind of the important sections. And
it's the section where they're talking about, the announcement of taking
the hiatus.
Yeah.
So in case you don't know, BTS is taking a hiatus. They're going to work on a lot of solo stuff. Obviously, Suga has been working on a lot of solo stuff behind the scenes anyways. It's been
J-Hope is going to be lining up in the
what is it?
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza. And a lot of them have been busy. And it's probably not very... their schedules are not very long-term friendly. They can't keep that type of lifestyle as a group and work on solo stuff. They're also growing as people, and they want to create content that is more of them,
represents them, yes,
as individual identities with the overall arching ability of obviously being BTS. We've seen this with other groups, this happens naturally with time. I think that we're one of the unicorns that have been able to go for so long.
Yes.
They've been
9
blessed.
years,
They've been blessed with Big Hit as well, and Big Hit has been blessed by them. You could argue even more. So it's a really interesting one. Let's give it a watch, because you guys will get my reaction for the first time and Vale's thoughts. So
얼마 전에 닥터 스트레인지를 봤는데 루마모?
개 이름 전투?
스포 안 해라. 이게 그 멀티버스라는 개념이 있잖아.
있지.
여러분은 어떻게 생각하실지 모르겠지만 정말 저를 아는 아미들이라면 저는 여전히 그렇게 생각해요. 어떤 멀티버스에는 그냥 음악을 안 하고 평범하게 취직해서 회사원으로 살고 있는 김남준 사원이 있겠다. 근데 제가 정말 이렇게 운 좋게 음악한다고 까불다가 이렇게 운 좋게 불려와서 방적 PD님 만나고 빅히트 만나고 저보다 훨씬 어떻게 보면 더 재밌는 시간을 만나서 방탄소년단 지금은 BTS부터 익숙하게.
Did they swap sides? Because if I remember correctly, earlier
the image is flipped here.
Oh, because Suga was sitting on the right,
the other side, yes.
The left.
Yes.
Right.
Also, this is the house that
they leased
to be together for promotionals and stuff, because they do have their own houses. But I think they live together when they're working together. Yeah. So, but the lease is up for this house as well, obviously, given the fact that they are all going their separate ways for a little bit.
Also, I think the intensity at that where they work, I don't think it's very sustainable. You can't work at that pace without...
Let's talk about human limits.
I've been so impressed the fact that RM's been sort of taking care of his health and working out and stuff like that, because...
they talk about it in the.
I think Suga's starting to do so as well, right?
No, and they were saying it's like I admire so much of what Namjoon is doing, because he, with all the schedule and the crazy,
he's still getting time.
He's still getting time to work on himself and stuff.
It's hard, man. It's hard. That whole thing difficult. Of that's when people say I don't have time to work out. It's like I don't believe most people when they say that. It's just a matter of right scheduling. But for him. And when you're at that top of the level and stuff, that also depends on what work you do. Maybe if you're a doctor, I would believe it's going to be very hard for you to sort of work out every day. Maybe you get 2-3 good workouts in 45 minutes each. That's good enough. You can be in shape in that way.
Yeah.
You maybe tighten up some of your diet. You try and really be somewhat strict and dial in on your supplements, and maybe some at that point, maybe experimenting with pharmacology might not be a wrong idea. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Anyways, go on. It's like, the whole rabbit hole that I'm gonna go on.
전 방탄이거든요. 방탄 사람들 만나서 이렇게 같이 음악하고 유엔 연설도 해보고.
Wow, the vibe real change, bro.
이거 나갔을 때쯤 우리가 백악관도 갔다 왔겠네.
백악관도 가보고 무슨 제가 대단한 사람이라고 뭐 그런 걸 해보겠어요. 저는 아직도 그런 생각을 너무 많이 해요. 제가 가수로 데뷔해서 어쩌다 보니까 이렇게 사회적으로 또 어떻게 보면 전 세계적으로 되게 무거운 책임감을 갖게 되고 어떻게 생각하면 우리는 그거에 걸맞지 않을지도 모르겠어요. 저는 그렇게 대단한 사람들도 아니고 똑똑한 사람들도 아니고 근데 일본 형이 어쨌든 정말 진심으로 무언가 하나를 위해서 나아가고 그리고 사실 BTS 혹은 방탄소년단 생각했을 때 사람들은 늘 아미를 얘기하거든요. 여러분이 저희의 사실은 본질이에요. 그래서 늘 여러분을 떼놓을 수가 없는 거고 제가 이렇게 지금 활동이 사실 괴롭다라고 얘기하면서도 제가 죄책감을 느끼고 있는 게 여러분이 너무 그거를 미워하실까 봐 사실은 내가 쉬고 싶다고 하면 내가 쉬고 싶다고 하면 내가 죄 짓는 것 같아가지고 그냥 뭐 여기 각자 멤버들도 마찬가지고 그냥 어떻게 하다 보니까 저희가 논현동에서 그렇게 조그만 짓 살다가 이렇게 백악관까지 가고 그냥 저는 하나예요. 전 예투컴 가사에 다 들어있거든요. 예투컴이 나온 시점이겠지만 이 버전이 내가 생각하는 이 버전의 우주의 최선이었어요. 저는 제가 하고 싶은 건 제가 여전히 지키고 싶은 건 그냥 우리가 같이 함께 내가 진심으로 같이 무대에 서고 같이 우리가 이렇게 회식해서 얘기를 했을 때 그 어떤 법칙과 상관없이 우리가 행복하게 얘기하고 행복하게 무언가를 할 수 있는 그게 제가 원하는 건데.
Damn, that's fucking rough.
남주니까 나도 울 것 같잖아. 남주니까 울 것 같잖아. 울지마.
그냥 저는 방탄소년단을 오래 하고 싶어요.
오래 하려면 이럴 수밖에 없어.
오래 하고 싶고 방탄소년단을 오래 하려면 제가 저로서 남아 있어야 된다고 생각을 해요.
Oh my god, this is the
왜냐면 내가 방탄은 아니니까. 나는 방탄의 일부니까. 그래서 여러분의 기대에 충족하지 못하고 너무 하고 싶은 얘기가 많지만 다 솔직하게 하지 못하는 점 항상 죄송하고 그러나 저희는 늘 진심이에요. 우리가 실수도 하고 저희 완벽하지 않아요. 저희 잘못도 많이 하고 저도 제가 완벽하지 않은 인간인 거 알고 제가 감히 뭐 유엔에서 연설하고 바이든 만나고 이럴 수 있는지 모르겠어요. 그렇지만
let's address something. There's no luck at play here. These guys worked their butts off to get to where they are. They deserved the world. They still do. There's no luck involved. I know they're being super humble, but let's just put it out there. I know you guys are with me in there because like when you look at the comments in this whole section, right? So a lot of these clips went viral everywhere. As soon as this dropped, everybody was talking about it.
We were away, so we tried to abstain.
Yeah, but you guys send so much information through, and to be completely honest, this like my first reaction to the news was they deserve a break. Like from a human perspective, the first thing I thought it was like, yes, definitely deserve a breather. These guys have been working non-stop since they started training, which is probably 2 years before they even released anything. Putting all of this hard work into perspective, also 9 years, let's say 12, because let's say 11 years, because that's including, training, because that is the building, that's the foundation of BTS.
If you look at the backgrounds of like Sugar and RM, yes, they've probably been doing this for like 17 years.
So, people, that's a whole lifetime. That's a ginormous amount of time, and the incredible amount of pressure that just keeps building.
Jay as well has a huge background.
Yeah, so there is just a lot of components that could have led to this moment, and I think it's heartbreaking to see them trying to not to justify the fact that they need to find their identities as people. To me, that's a little bit hard to watch, because
I think
they shouldn't
I think
We shouldn't have to.
This video probably embodies 5 components which are really difficult. Like number 1, again, living at this rate and the speed at which, you know, they climbed at, and the heights that they climbed at in such a short amount of time. I mean, 9-8 years. They've probably been at the top of the world for 7 years, but the first 2 years were probably a bit rough. But you know, 7-8 years of at this speed, living the idol lifestyle and living as these sort of perfect people. That's just not sustainable. It doesn't work like that.
Mentally or physically, there's just
if
the limit.
you thought this was forever, obviously I think everyone knew this wasn't forever.
Yeah.
I was very impressed when people were telling me, you know, when we first discovered them, they've already been doing this shit for 7-8 years, man. I'm like, what the fuck?
Correct.
What how?
But then again, that justified the fact that they were so good at what they're doing.
And also they were reaching so much success. Look, you put yourself, it is a second component. Everything comes at a price, right? Everything comes at a price, and we can say confidently now, I think a lot of you guys know that, well, actually, yeah, this is probably a good time to announce this stuff. We are starting to work with some Korean television networks. Yay. Which is we're one of the first to do so, so it's fucking amazing here on YouTube to do that with them, and obviously in Korea, so it's amazing. And from the inside, right, and you know, that's kind of like the cool perks you get when,
and it's only scratching the surface of what,
yeah, because you know, we know people that are involved, you know, even with them and stuff, but it's like you don't want to ask even those type of questions and shit like that. But it's really rough, right? Obviously we can't say anything else either that they haven't said themselves, neither do we know much, but it's like what we do know is this fucking lifestyle is brutal, unsustainable.
Yes.
Comes with that huge amount of responsibility and burdens. That's why none of these guys talk about this stuff, because they cannot.
No, and because it's not. That's your personal sacrifice.
No, yeah, you signed the contract, exactly, you made that choice.
Exactly, you are paying the check. You sign the check, you're paying it up, and that's nobody's business.
Also,
that has nothing to do with the public perspective.
Comes with great benefits as
Correct.
well. You know, money, fame, notoriety, living your dream, the public perception, and all these other shit that comes with it.
Changing the world.
Yeah,
this guy's changed the world.
You can unite people and then create fandoms, and these fandoms can do great things. What the army has done in several occasions. You guys sent me this video of like this girl, she couldn't afford a birthday party, and then but she, you know, she was in the army and stuff, and people, that shit made me more emotional than anything else. Yes. I was like, holy fuck, that's what people are capable of. And then these guys are the leaders
of the whole community.
And then these guys are the leaders of such things. So hearing Mariam speak like this, it's like it makes sense, right? And that's also that's admirable individual, because you had to address this at some point, right? And the fear is obviously you disappoint people, and yeah, I guess that comes with. I hope he hasn't disappointed anyone. I think I guess if this makes you annoyed or pissed, yeah, I think you gotta have to have a deep look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Because no one, you know, not for this long at least. Everything comes at a price, but there should be a moment where you know you've reached certain heights and you can look back at your journey and say, okay, let's put a pause. Let me work on me. Let me put me first for a few years. Let me work on my own art. I am not BTS. I am the leader of BTS. I am the dancer of BTS. I am the main vocalist. I may be the most charming, the best looking, the most popular, the least, but it doesn't fucking matter. But BTS is all 7 of them, right? Yes. But that's not who Namjoon is. That's not who Yoongi is. That's not who Taehyung is. That's not, you know what I mean? So they have to find their own path. You're seeing it, you know, one of my favorite idols from Korea. You're seeing it with Dio, right? It's like you gotta find yourself at some point, bro. And it's usually around this time when they're about to hit a decade, because these motherfucking guys are no longer guys. They're men who also want to. All of a sudden, they haven't even delved that deep within themselves. It's all been about not pleasing others, because that's not all that. I think I saw someone mention this. It's like, I hope they stopped pleasing people, trying to please people so much. I don't think that's it. I think that's also, it's hard to understand when you have a fandom of that magnitude. I mean, we don't fucking know either, but it's not a matter of pleasing people. It's a matter of making those who supported you so far proud.
It's a responsibility aspect.
Exactly.
I think it comes as a duty more than it does as a trying to please or impress.
And not taking their support for granted. Because it's a privilege. It's
because
a huge privilege.
Without the support, there is no result. Right?
There's no wine on that table. Without any of the people that play that music, there's no balloons. You can't afford the plants. You know?
It's and the thing is, like, they've seen both sides of the coin. They've seen the two struggles, and they have been able to embark in the hardest journey and then also reap the rewards. But so it's
Do the
about
most of that journey. Go speak in the
Exactly.
UN. Go meet the president. Speak about important issues.
And again, that's something that only comes to not lucky people who have worked and sacrificed the hardest.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're beyond humble.
Well, the
but-
third and fourth and fifth component. The fourth is family.
Yes.
The fuck?
Yes.
These guys haven't seen their families.
In a decade.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not like a normal people should.
Yeah.
Right? Number 4 is health. Right? They've probably, all of them.
Mentally and physically, you need the time.
You need the time, bro.
You need the time.
And then 5, yeah, they're individuals. They're people. They want to have life.
And the thing, the fun thing about this video, because you guys recommended it, is like the open conversation between you guys and us, like the common response between the whole fandom and even the general common people is yes, it
It's
makes
insane.
sense.
And the fact is what's mental. This is not the end. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I doubt it. I think we talk a bit pragmatically, and this is maybe I can share some of the inside stuff. It's not forever, you know. Maybe they don't know that for sure now, but it's not forever. They will do comebacks. Every now and then they will do anniversaries and things like that. It's happened. They're such a not only money making machine, but they're also so loved and so wanted everywhere
And
they
they're
go.
also such a great chemistry,
No,
and like as a work people.
they work well as well together as we take their like the money and all that stuff as
Individuals,
individual.
yeah.
They like each other. They've grown up with each other, so that's cool. Usually that's one of the biggest issues. There's lots of fights behind scenes. There's lots of stuff like that, and I think they've kept a pretty public idea. They've also been able to protect things because they went so independent in terms of media creation so early on, which was again they're leading everyone is now doing that. Every new K-pop group, the third and the fourth generation guys and
Yeah.
girls, they've learned so many lessons learned from these guys. They're pioneers and they're the idols of idols now. So
How insane, right?
exactly, that's the height which not many people reach. So
Again, let us know what your thoughts are and how you feel about this.
yeah,
whole
but if this
conversation.
annoys you or pisses you off, yeah, I think you gotta have a look in the mirror. Go on.
유엔에서 연설하고
And plus,
바이든 만나고
hold
할 수
on,
있는
we're still getting music. You know what I mean?
Oh wait,
Arguably-
our albums haven't arrived, and I'm a little bit like, where is my album?
Yeah, we wanted to do actually. We thought, oh fuck, we're away. We can't make this video. So tomorrow maybe we'll get here, and we'll also mix it up with a, ironically emotional
Video
of the unboxing. But
again,
didn't arrive.
the whole concept of this proof album is so
it makes
emotional.
much sense
Yeah,
now as
no,
well.
Everything makes sense.
It's content for you guys for a little bit as well, and the music and everything we've worked on, and let's look at the past and stuff like that. But it hasn't arrived. Also, we're still getting music though from them, which is happy days. I'm so intrigued on seeing J-Hope's solo journey.
Me too.
I'm intrigued on seeing
And
Yoongi's.
I think their paths as an individuals are so intriguing. They're so promising alone that it's really cool.
Yeah.
Jimin has been working on some music.
Jimin, apparently Jimin's been working right at the
on
beginning.
some music.
He said it at the
and-
beginning when we were watching. He said
Yeah.
that he was working on something. He didn't want to share it so early on because obviously the vibe is not right yet, and they have to address this first.
Yeah.
But that's sick.
But
What the
that's
fuck?
cool. That's cool. So yeah.
Dude, if we get anything close to Filter Jimin
oh my
from
god.
Apple 07, 10 out of 10. Go on.
모르겠어요.
I-
그렇지만 제가 아는 건 우리가 방탄이고 우리가 여러분을 만났기 때문에 여기까지 온 거고 앞으로 언제까지 우리가 같이 할 수 있을지는 모르겠지만 정말 오래오래 우리가 설사 옛날처럼 이렇게 멋있게 춤을 추고 하지 못하더라도 나는 방탄소년단의 RM으로 있고 싶거든요. 그래서 이 진심을 알아줬으면 좋겠고 지금 잠깐 우리가 멈추어주고 회의해주고 쉬어도
You deserve
더
it. Stop.
앞으로의 많은 시간을 위해서 나간다는 점.
항상 제일 힘든 게 그런 건 것 같아. 이제 우리가 사실 이제 독특하잖아요. 팬이랑 이렇게 같이 가는 게.
Yeah.
근데
Está
그럼에도
temblando,
불구하고
he's shaking.
사실 모든 걸 공유할 수는 없잖아요.
아니 그럼 다 이해해 주실 거야. 다 이해해 줄.
Yeah, definitely.
제일 힘들고 슬픈 부분인 것 같아요.
자 우리 건배사 한번 하면서 야 건배사 뭐 할래? 건배사 오늘 항상 막내가 하는 거야. 아 그렇죠. 정국이가
Oh, you book.
뭐 심플하게 해주십시오. 심플하게.
Make it simple, man.
자 여러분들
앞으방포를 해줘.
앞으방포를 해? 뭐 아무거나 해?
뭐 하는 거 해.
자, 여러분들 네가 뭘 하든 좋아. 저기 뭐야 너무 웃기다. 이렇게 취한 거 되게 오랜만에 보네. 그때 우리 LA 회식 이후로 이건
drink that much.
Gene, can I just say, Gene at the beginning, even just the beginning, he sounded like he was in another planet.
No, but you know
he had only drank that much. But Yoongi though, motherfucker's a heavyweight.
He drinks, okay? But he's like one of those classy drinkers that they can hold their drinks for so long. Like
maybe he creates the illusion that he's drinking a lot because he drinks a bit slowly.
I don't know, but he's one of those
He had
classy
2 glasses though in like 15 minutes.
Straight whiskey. Like straight neat baby.
It's a man right there.
That's neat whiskey. Also, just to point it out, like Taehyun barely spoke throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I think
it hit him the hardest.
Yeah, I think, well, Jay, you can obviously tell in his eyes, fuck me. He's bawling his eye, and he wears his heart in his sleeve. He just looks like that type of guy. Jimin is obviously hit him like a truck. Jungkook, this must be mental because this is the life he knows. He doesn't know anything else. He grew up, he went from a kid to a man with the lads.
With everybody.
With that lifestyle. That shit ain't normal.
Yeah, I mean, what does that do to your head? That's my thinking.
And it's so mad that he's saying like, oh, we're taking a break because we want to be lazy and stuff. It's like, well,
Yeah,
hold on a
then
second.
come on.
The majority of you are still working on shit, and if you're not working on stuff, it's like what? All of a sudden, the 9 years of non-stop work that you did.
And all these sleepless nights and everything else is just like what?
They're always creating content. They're always making music. If in some case, that's why I think Yoongi's. The guy's fucking crazy.
No, it's
busy.
because he likes being in the studio. I think that's what he likes to do. Like that's his me time.
I guess, and that's sort of intertwined with other works, right?
He's taking advantage of that. And like, I mean, I think of that, and I think of a lot of people that's their space. Like Jubin, like.
Yeah.
Like from India.
We're having our first Indian music industry artist, Jubin Nautiyal, on Sunday. That's a really interesting podcast because he has kind of a similar take on things because he knows that nothing's forever and he's obviously at a really, really high level in India with Bollywood and he wants to, spread music from all over the world. And one of the things he mentions is, it's this and this. There's so much bollocks that happens behind the scenes, contracts.
Naturally.
That's the thing that they can't say to us. I wish I had the information about this stuff. I don't. I wouldn't want to share it anyways. It's their own thing. But there's so much shit that goes on behind the scenes. Those contracts are mad. Those managers, the stuff that you sign with is crazy.
I also think there's such
health stuff they keep secret.
I also think they are such a unicorn in the industry, though, because their label and the way that the industry has molded to them, because they have shaped it. Basically,
it changed things.
It's so completely different. So. A lot of like the sharky aspects of the industry might have been different for them, given the fact that they have such a close relationship with their label.
Well,
right?
I'm sure.
Within,
I'm sure as a label and them, it just comes with being famous. Lawsuits are left and right, and people saying shit left and right, and you having to deal with stuff. And I don't know what it is.
It's exhausting just thinking about it. Though.
They're obviously alluding to something big that's happening behind the scenes, and that. Unfortunately, they can't share it publicly. Neither should they. There's this saying of dirty clothes get washed at home, right? Mm-hmm. Dirty laundry gets washed at home or something like that. In Spanish,
I think in Spanish makes sense.
I don't know if it makes sense in English. But it's like, there's things no one needs to know. Just you. And the battles and the demons you fight, those are your battles and your demons to win and beat over.
And it's about being the hero of your own story. It's not about waiting for a salvation from anybody else. You have to take actions, and I think they are the embodiment of that.
And then the most graceful victories are the ones that are not celebrated.
Correct.
So perhaps this is what's happening here.
Yes.
They've won a huge battle within themselves. They've won something, and they want it, or maybe they want to win the battle, the personal journey battle. And they don't have to say, "Wow, I discovered myself now." Maybe at some point they will. Maybe through their music would get to know such things. But here,
did you see? The future is exciting.
Exactly. I think it's only excitement. It's obviously a bit tough to swallow the pill that we won't get another BTS album for a good while, perhaps ever. Maybe we won't get a comeback. We're definitely not going to get a comeback this year or the next.
So.
I think anniversary stuff like that, they'll definitely do work together.
Yeah, I think
content wise,
definitely.
we'll see them, each other, be involved in each other's work. I just hope they themselves don't take it too heavy, and that, because I'm sure there's gonna be some pricks out there saying shit. I just hope they don't read that. You know, they don't get to that, because that's one of the things that they've always done really well. They've always maintained touch with their fans, which you don't see that in the West as much, because most people just spew so much shit out of their mouth without thinking. And I think with their fandom, they've been well, actually not just their fandom. It happens really well in Korea. It gets really well done. Obviously, the attacks as well are a bit more intense as well in Korean, in the Korean pop industry, which it just comes and goes. But the appreciation of fans is also more intense in that sense of like they understand the struggle of schedules and the lifestyle that they have.
I also think like K-pop fans overall are so aware of things that normal music heads wouldn't be aware of. Like,
yeah, they're more aware about the industry than probably any fans from any other industry.
Which I find so incredibly surprising. Like it's amazing. Let's finish this clip. I'm so emotional.
수 있지. 아니 위스키를 그냥 니트로 이렇게 따라가지고 맨날 소리 못한대 사실. 아니 아이스도 없어.
You see, meat.
여러분들 살, 우리 여러분들의 살 아직 많이 남았습니다. 야, 죽을 때까지 멀었어 아직. 몇달 사는 데 우리를 위해서
Let's make a
짠
toast.
올려보도록 하겠습니다. 아, 남준이 이 정도로 취하고 나 처음 본다 진짜. 취해서요?
Am I drunk? Am I drunk? The rest of the live stream gets very, they take their time to like regain themselves. But yeah, I was watching
That was
it.
heavy, bro.
Yeah, I was watching it, and right from the beginning, you could see that the vibe was different. Because this was like the anniversary celebratory like event that they do every year. But
Anniversary, right?
yeah, the anniversary. So it was kind of like, ooh, there's something different about this. And even without knowing that they announced that they were taking a hiatus, the whole vibe felt different. Like people were more quiet than usual. The interactions were a bit more heartfelt, a bit more honest.
Not as many interviews, right?
Exactly. So also the promotional period for Proof has been quite chilled compared to what it's like usually with a big comeback, right? So
and it was still mad. Well, I mean, they went to the US.
Yeah.
But they hadn't announced. Had they announced their comeback? Yeah, they had announced their comeback then. But that wasn't obviously to promote that stuff.
Yeah.
Were they in talk shows? Not for this.
Or at least it hasn't been enough yet. Again, it's pretty recent.
Yeah, because a lot of time they record a lot of stuff early on.
Again, we're yet to come the best. We're yet to see the best. So
yeah, I think it's because solo journey is gonna be sick.
I think so
Dude,
too.
I can't wait to hear RM solo shit. Not a
I
mixtape,
think
but a
so.
full thing. Or maybe Yoongi, or maybe if they want to do, I don't know, maybe Jin wants to model. He's the worldwide handsome. Maybe he wants to just model for a bit.
I
a bit more
think
chilled.
there is a lot of good things in the
man.
on the table for them. So it's gonna be interesting, and we'll be supporting regardless.
Tune in tomorrow.
That's
We'll talk
right.
about this a bit more in depth as well. And it's my birthday, so it's just good for you to tune around, say hello, say happy birthday, and I'll say happy birthday back. Okay, goodbye.